Anytime a professional or a celebrity that they utilize social media, for one, just like you said it was a rant. Well, it could have been just a thought. Maybe there's another word or something.
Yeah, because I hate rant because it has a negative connotation. Like you're out of control. He went on a rant.
Right. Well, I just think when you have a series of tweets like this, he did have a message that he was trying to deliver. Now here we are all trying to decipher, decode what the greatest athlete in the world is trying to say. And the truth of the matter is what it really just boils down to, he's a human being, all right? Cleveland's having a tough season. There's a lot of basketball on TV, not only NBA, college. I'm sure this has something to do with his kids. I'm sure it might have a little undertone of LeVar Ball, what happened last week, and everything else that goes on in the world. So I think that this is a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. LeBron sits and decides that I'm going to release some thoughts and maybe some underlying frustration to where I am right now. I don't consider it a rant. I just consider it his thoughts to be placed out there for the public to be able to digest.
Besides, he was sitting in San Antonio. What else was he going to do while he was in his hotel in San Antonio?
Go on the Riverwalk.
Go shopping, man. Add to your wardrobe.
Food and drink. And
add some more colorful jackets.
Come on, man.
Well, he could have gone to Lulu's and got one of those 2-pound cinnamon rolls. I went there and had one, Skip. Awesome.
In
2
San
pounds.
Antonio?
2 pounds.
Yeah. And it had the 1 pound country fried steak.
Oh, is that where the sugar coat is?
Yeah.
That's good, Joy. That was it. Touche.
I know what you tried to do there, Joy. I know what you tried to do there, Joy. Stop it.
That was a good read.
Oh, thank you.
For me, we've seen LeBron do this before. I'm not going to give myself a headache trying to decipher what LeBron meant. He put things out here like this. He said last year, telling somebody don't worry about fitting out, don't worry about fitting in, fit out, do this. He always goes on this rant, and it's normally right before the playoffs start. Because we know come playoff time, Skip, it's 0 dark 30. Lights out. No more social media, no more TV. He's down to business.
So we got another 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. You got another 2. You got 2 weeks, CC. And then it's the March the 16th. Pick him up, put him down, LeBron.
That's 16 wins to get crowned number 4, right?
He know what it is. He know what it is.
I got to help you with them,
Skip. All I'm saying is this. I'm not going to hurt my head trying to rack my brain. What did LeBron trying to parse? He said it. He's done things like this before. I'm sure there's a meaning to it, to him, and that's all that matters. But at the end of the day, come sometime in June, when that parade's going down Cleveland again, me and Cece will be there this time.
And there's some truth before we go to Mr. Bayless. There's some truth. Because as a youth coach, I do see coaches changing. I do see them change how their overall philosophy compared to the way we were coached. You know, I had guys that drove me in the ground. Their purpose was to try to make me quit. I want to see how much you love this game. So there was a lot of truth to what LeBron said, but I'm sure that we won't get any of that part because everyone is so determined.
And LeBron's truth is aimed at whom? That's what we need to parse, to use your word. And I'm going to attempt to parse because the drama king was at it again last night. Look at me. I'm going to go on, and I'm sorry, it came across as a rant. I get what maybe it's just spilling his thoughts when he's bored in San Antonio or on the flight to San Antonio. I have no idea. But in this case, I'm going to say it again. I study LeBron James. You guys love him, and I like him very much as a guy. I think I've said this 1,000 times, best role model in sports. But all of a sudden, I'm seeing a new guy because Joy didn't get to another tweet down, how many?
It was a lot of them.
Like 9 or 10 of them.
Yeah, it was.
But he used a curse word on Twitter, and it's just uncharacteristic of this man to curse publicly. And we've heard several absolute, flat-out verbal rants from him after some of the recent losses. Started after the one in New Orleans. And it was F-bomb rant. It was on the record to some of the reporters in New Orleans. And he said he needed more help. And he said, we're top-heavy, as, you know, he used the same word there as he used on Twitter. I was surprised by that. And I was surprised that he would dare to take a shot even subtly, at the rest of his teammates. We got the big three, and then we got issues everywhere. That's not the best message to send to the rest of your team, the other 9 guys in that locker room. And then Barkley comes back at him, and he just fires back at Barkley. Barkley called him whiny, and he says, Charles Barkley, boom, boom, boom. He goes to Wiki, like Wikipedia, and he says he did this, 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 and this as a player, and tries to sort of, quote unquote, kill the messenger. It's just uncharacteristic of LeBron. I was surprised by that. Then we get to the resting issue, and he says, well, it's only me. It's only when I rest that anybody cares. And we're all saying, well, wait a second. They've been caring for years about the Spurs resting, and they definitely cared about the Golden State trio, or actually the whole starting lineup, didn't play against the Spurs. So I didn't get that one. And then finally, boom, we get to the other night. We're going back a couple of games. My teammates are not tough enough. And this seems like the second verse of my teammates aren't tough enough. That's just me. I can only parse what he put out on Twitter. But he took that shot verbally, and he said, don't question my toughness. I've always been tough. And you want to talk about Iron Man? This guy plays through every little injury. He plays every game. Now he needs to rest. Like you said, you expect him to rest tonight. I don't. I expect him to play hard and play well in front of Popovich tonight. But the point is, you keep taking shots at your teammate, maybe teammates to motivate them. I don't know, but it looks like you're starting to lose your teammates on the defensive end because they're not playing hard for you at all. If you're the leader of this pack, on defense, you were the best defensive team a year ago, especially in the playoffs, and now you're ranked 22nd, and nobody played. Kyrie was just hapless on defense. He just didn't care on defense the other night. All of them.
Right.
All of them. And LeBron has not been as locked in on defense as I've seen him in the past.
That's true.
Okay, so the whole team is just slumping on the wrong end of the court. And I say, is this a shot at, I'm just throwing it out there, is it a shot at Kyrie that he wasn't raised the way I was raised? I don't know, because that's how it comes across to me. Or is it just a shot at Lonzo Ball, that he didn't come up big in his biggest game of the year against Kentucky? And as I made the point earlier in the show, his mom's in the hospital with a very serious health issue, and neither his father nor brothers were able to go to Memphis for the game. So maybe his heart and mind were not quite in the Kentucky game. I don't know, but I'm going to give him some pass for that. Okay. Is LeBron giving him no pass here? There's something going on here in which you are starting to unravel under the pressure to repeat. And it's a lot of pressure, man. It's huge. And if you keep talking about I'm chasing the ghost, as in number 23, the greatest ever, the GOAT, then you need to go win another one because you have a chance to go win one this year. Golden State, not sure who they are, who's going to close, and we saw what happened on Christmas Day in Cleveland. The door is open for LeBron to basically skate through the East, I think, if they could get back on track. And whoever comes out of the West, they should have a shot for him to win his 4th ring in 8 tries. So you tell me, is it something's happening here besides he was bored?
I'm sure there's a message in there somewhere. It's just for me, I just don't feel like losing any brain cells trying to decipher what that message is. See, I think the thing is for me, did I want to let my teammates down? No, didn't want to let John down. But the most important thing, I didn't want to let me down, because I knew the work that I had put in. And so if I let me down, there's no question about it, I was going to let them down. LeBron, look, JR is not the same guy that he was, and it might be because
in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs. JR is coming back and he just looked out of it. He just
his body language.
Now he's going through something too. Now he had a newborn that was born premature. And the daughter is still in the hospital.
Yep.
I'm sure that's weighing heavily on his mind because he's not the same JR that he was at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. So that might be something that's playing on his mind. Right now, first of all, they're not really a defensive team, because when you break it down, only Tristan Thompson, LeBron, and Sharpe can really play D. Everybody else is a help D.
And all the players that they added, defense is not their main suit.
No.
You look at Corver, look at D. Williams. Like, these guys are not known for
you're
their
saying
defense.
They're missing Dellavedova. Is that what we're saying?
I would love to see them play Derek Williams more. I love when he was playing with LeBron, he was a monster. Play him more. Now, they love the lineup going LeBron, Kyrie, Darren Williams, Kyle Korver, and Tristan Thompson. They love that lineup. And sometimes they'll play Kevin Love at the 5. But that's a defensive challenge lineup. And here's the thing, you're going to get a lot of spot-up threes and opportunity to get to the basket. But you better hope that team is shooting cold that night,
Okay.
They're going to be able to get to the basket on you.
Yeah, I think some of the tweets had to do with how they performed also against Washington.
Yes.
They give up 40 points in the first quarter. I mean, John Wall, they blitzed. They got every shot they wanted.
They did.
They did whatever they wanted
Yeah.
to on the court. Cleveland was not able to come back, so Washington was able to get the win, draw even closer. Now it's a virtual tie between Boston. So I think that has something to do with it, too, because
Maybe.
right now the Cavs are not a very tough team.
No, they're not.
Okay, but I'm going to throw this out. Last quick point. LeBron needs to be careful because he is throwing stones from potentially a glass house, because when you talk about mental toughness, he hasn't always been there for his teams in the past. Going back to the last playoff series against Boston in Cleveland, his first time around.
That was a decade ago.
Okay, but I'm just saying he had that on his resume. He's got 2011 Finals versus Dallas on his resume.
Yeah, but no one in that locker room was there for those experiences.
But they know, Kyrie knows, trust me, that Game 6 against the Spurs, LeBron wasn't there in the end for his team.
This is what they know. I rode on a plane with Shane Battier. When Cleveland was down 3-1, Kyrie was hurt, Love was hurt 2 years ago in the championship. And I'm like, Shane, it's over with. And he said, man, listen, there's one player in the NBA that all the players know can come back, and that's LeBron James, Chris.